Hey everybody, it's Music Therapy Laz here on Monday, a little after my show. I'm starting a new show, Mondays, live stream with Roxy. So Music Therapy Mondays with Roxy, and it's at 4 o'clock every Monday, 4 p.m. PST, that's Pacific Standard Time. Join me, but right now you guys are looking at a package. Yes, I received something, so we're going to do an unpackaging. I already did the scissor part because I wouldn't be able to do that and hold the phone at the same time. So we're going to try to do this one-handed. Voila, I already unpackaged this part too so that I can open it. So I don't know how many of you are fans of, the glam era rock from the 70s. And I am definitely a big fan of Mick Ronson here, or Rono as he's known. And he was the eclectic player and duo sidekick of David Bowie during Bowie's, I think, best era of music in the 70s. And Mick Ronson, man, sadly passed away at a very young age from cancer, I believe, if I have that right. So I recently was watching or listening to someone else's stream or whatnot, and maybe I think I was actually reading about this. That's right. So Guitar World, December issue that I actually bought a couple months ago. That issue was printed prior to Eddie Van Halen's untimely death. And, we're all still very reeling from that and still very saddened by that. But in that article about Ronson in that December issue, this was previous to knowing about Eddie's death. So it was printed before Eddie's death, and I went ahead and ordered one right away because another friend of the community, friend of mine, online buddy, and I have met him as well in person at NAMM last year, Michael, the Captain Smith of Johnny Bean's channel. He turned me on to that Guitar World edition, so I went ahead and ordered a couple on eBay that were available because I was afraid I might not get any of those. And there was a great article about Mick Ronson in there, and I did not know that one of my favorite guitarists of all time when it comes to heavy metal rock and roll is Randy Rhodes, of course. I was lucky to see him live for the Diary of the Madman show, the tour, in the CU Event Center in Colorado when I was living in Colorado. I think I was 15 years old at the time. I don't even remember how we got there because it was a big blizzard, and I can't recall who drove. I think it was a friend of my neighbor's, Chris, who drove us up there. And they actually almost didn't do the show because their set stuff was lost in the snowstorm, coming from, I guess, Salt Lake or something, if I remember correctly. And they were offering people their money back and to get a ticket for a future show if they didn't want to wait. And we were waiting easily over an hour and a half to 2 hours for that show to start. There was no warm-up band or nothing. It was just Ozzy and Rhodes and Sarzo, and I think it was Vinny Appice or Appice. I think they call him Vinny Appice, Vinny Appice. Different, I can't recall how he called him at that concert. We were having too much fun. But of course we stuck around. Some people did leave, and boy, are they sorry, because a couple, 3 months later, he died, in that plane crash. So Mick Ronson, apparently, what was in this article is that Randy Rhodes actually fashioned some of his look out of Mick Ronson. If you look at Mick Ronson's photos here in this, and this is why I like to buy, actual material musical items like this. So this is a special 4 CD disc, by the way, Only After Dark, complete. This is a complete Main Man recordings. So this has got a lot of really cool stuff in there that you don't maybe see online, and it's got demos, for example. So it's got this Slaughter on 10th Avenue, bunch of tracks in there, right? Don't Worry, right? It's got 76, The Sessions, so this was post Bowie, I believe. And some rarities, which are demos from that period as well. So looking at Rono here. If you see his haircut and his style and his look with the with that Les Paul. Randy fashioned his look after him a little bit. Something that apparently he was admittedly doing. He was fashioning himself a little bit out of that. So that's why you saw, like with the whole bow tie, polka dot thing and everything, they didn't go super glam in his band before he joined Ozzy. But yeah, you can see that there's some resemblance there. So I just thought I'd do this quick little video here in the kitchen just to show you guys that sometimes it is worth getting, something in the mail like this, not just downloading your music, because you get all this information, all this really cool history. You're not going to get this stuff on downloads, and you're not going to be able to hang on to it and keep it and hand it down to someone, which I think is the second best part of having this kind of stuff, right? So there's all this really cool info here about his post-Bowie era. Look at that. Does that not look like a Randy Rhodes? Kind of from a quick glance, you'd think so, right? So I thought that was cool, and that was one of the reasons why I went ahead and bought this, because a little extra Christmas present for myself, because I was a good boy. I think. Cool, right? Yeah, rocking that Les Paul. Right on. Someday I'll get a Les Paul, but they're rather expensive, so it might be a little while. So until next time, you guys, don't forget, secret to tone is in your mind, but the feel comes from your heart. Put them together and make some music and rock on.